What makes a man truly masculine? Is it his muscles, his wealth, his status? No. Those things fade. They can be taken away. But there's one trait, a foundation, that has defined masculinity across all of history. A trait so powerful that without it, every other quality collapses. That trait is discipline. Discipline is not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's not the quick fix modern men crave. But it is the one thing that separates strong men from weak men, leaders from followers, warriors from victims. And today, we're going to break down exactly why discipline ruins masculinity, and why, if you lack it, you will never unlock your full masculine potential. Masculinity has always been tied to responsibility, strength, and leadership. From ancient tribes to modern civilizations, the men who stood out were not those who partied the hardest or chased pleasure the most. They were the ones who mastered themselves. At its core, masculinity is about control. Control over your impulses, control over your emotions, control over your direction in life. Without control, you're just a boy in a man's body. But with discipline, you become a force of nature. That's why discipline is the bedrock of masculinity. It transforms chaos into order. It takes raw potential and turns it into strength. Every man is born with two sides, the side that craves comfort, ease, and pleasure, and the side that hungers for growth, greatness, and power. Most men lose this battle. They indulge in distractions, fall to temptation, and waste their lives chasing instant gratification. But the disciplined man, he learns to master the battlefield within. He says no to the easy path and chooses the hard road, not because it's fun, but because it builds him. And here's the truth. Masculinity isn't about dominating others first. It's about dominating yourself. If you can't control your urges, your anger, your habits, you're not masculine. You're a slave to your impulses. Look back at history. The men we remember, warriors, philosophers, leaders, they were defined by discipline. The Spartans trained from childhood, enduring brutal routines to forge men of steel. Their discipline made them feared across the ancient world. The Romans built an empire not on chaos, but on structure, order, and military discipline. The samurai followed a strict code of honor and self-control that defined Japanese culture for centuries. Even philosophers like Marcus Aurelius preached Stoicism, the ability to endure hardship with calm strength. None of these men would be remembered if they chose comfort over discipline. Discipline is what turned ordinary men into legends. Now look at today. Men are softer than ever. Why? Because society rewards comfort. Everything is instant. Food, entertainment, validation. Men no longer have to earn anything. They just consume. And here's the danger. The man who avoids discipline becomes weak, fragile, and forgettable. He scrolls instead of builds. He complains instead of conquers. He lives as a boy long into adulthood, emasculated by convenience. This is why masculinity is dying. Not because men aren't strong enough, but because they've traded discipline for distraction. So what does discipline look like in a man's daily life? In the body. He trains consistently. Fitness is not about vanity. It's proof of discipline. A man who cannot master his body cannot master his life. In the mind, he reads, learns, and sharpens his thinking. He chooses growth over mindless entertainment. In emotions, he doesn't lash out or collapse under pressure. He stays calm when others panic. In habits, he rises early, he works on his mission, he controls his vices. Discipline is not one action, it's a lifestyle. Every choice either builds your masculinity or erodes it. A man without discipline is not free. He is chained to his cravings, his weaknesses, and his fears. This is why we see broken families, lost men, and a generation of males who don't know what it means to lead. Without discipline, masculinity collapses. And when masculinity collapses, society collapses with it. Here's the good news. Discipline can be built. It is not a gift. It is a choice. Start small. Wake up earlier. Train your body. Set goals and actually follow through. Each time you say no to weakness and yes to growth, you are forging your masculinity. The modern world wants you soft. It wants you distracted. It wants you weak, but you don't have to accept that fate. You can choose the path of discipline, the path of true masculinity. At the end of the day, masculinity is not about how much you lift, how much you earn, or how many women you attract. It's about how much of yourself you've mastered. Discipline is the foundation. Without it, you will fall. With it, you become unshakable. So ask yourself, are you a man ruled by comfort or a man forged by discipline? Because discipline is not just a trait of masculinity. Discipline is masculinity.